Welcome to another guitar tutorial by me, Adrian Whyte. This one, very close to my heart. I really love this band. They're one of my favourite psychobilly bands. About 6 months ago, my son was born. He had to go back into hospital for a little bit, and it was the Radarmen ST album that kind of kept me company driving backwards and forwards from the hospital because of the strict corona visitation rules. So, yeah, I really fell in love with this EP, and particularly this song, the themes of technology and just all that kind of stuff. I think this band in particular, Radarmen, cover a lot of really interesting territory with their stuff. They don't sound like anyone else. And if you're into clean psychobilly, which is almost a subgenre of psychobilly itself, let's not get too into it. But if you like that sound, that clean guitar sound, these guys are for you. So this lesson, you will have seen the cover. I haven't decided whether I'll put that at the start of this video. If you've just watched it, you'll know that I did. Otherwise, you'll be going away to have a look at me covering that, because that will obviously really help you learn the song. I want to quickly thank Prudence, my latest Patreon member. Yeah, again, can't thank all of you guys enough, so thanks for joining Prudence, and catch you on the Patreon and the Discord. And yeah, so anyone else who's thinking of joining, there is 15 to 20 transcriptions just on psychobilly. There's a bunch on rockabilly, there's swing stuff, there's finger-picking stuff, a lot of my original finger-picking arrangements, well, of covers, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and one last thing I want to mention, if you do like this kind of psychobilly, this kind of clean sci-fi kind of stuff, I think you really will enjoy my album, The Homemade Space Machine. So check that one out. It is in the link. You can check out my stuff on Spotify. I have a real love for that kind of space-agey, weird theme things as well. Another reason I love this particular song and EP. So, getting on with the lesson. Obviously a clean guitar tone. I've mentioned clean this, clean that. I've just got my Boss DM2 Watercraft pedal going into my Supro at the moment. On the cover you heard a Rode microphone right up against the amp. Right now I've got that Rode microphone here. Now, the intro of this song, which by the way the full transcription is available on the Patreon obviously. I would say that technically this song is in D Dorian, but D minor will also suffice for a loose description of what's going on here. Simply because we don't necessarily see the proof that it's D Dorian, which is something I could get into, but I'm not going to. Let's just get into the song. So the very first riff in the intro goes 2, 3, 0. Okay, and we're starting on the 2nd fret there on the 3rd string. 2nd fret there, 3rd fret on the 4th string, and open. Those 3 notes, A, F, and D, make up a D minor triad. So then we play C, E, F. Okay, so 3rd fret on the 5th string, 2nd fret on the 4th, 3rd fret there. So goes. We repeat. And then the second time around, we just drag out the 3, 2, 3 as what we call crotchet triplets. I'll play that intro for you. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're up to the verse. The verse uses... there's always different ways you can play these chords and these notes. But I'll show you how I've chosen to play it, and I'm inclined to give you an option as well. It's another hot day, and it's quite warm in here because I don't want the aircon bothering the sound. So if I start to look a little bit sweaty, you know why. It's really not that I'm under any pressure or stress to make these videos for all you guys. No, I'm kidding. D minor 7, okay. 1st finger on the 5th fret, 3rd finger on the 7th fret, 1st finger on the 5th fret by barring, okay, and my 2nd finger goes on the 6th fret there. We start by picking 5th string, 4th, strumming down up, just like that, okay. So we go. Actually, it's a bit sharper. It's more like just like that. Yeah, actually, I realized in the cover I was playing that a little off, but now you know. So boom, boom, boom. And then the next bar, just like that. Okay. So I should mention with that D minor 7, you have an option of playing it back here if you prefer. If you're finding that difficult and you don't like bar chords, well, you should stick with it and get good at bar chords, but I'll show you. This is like an easier bar chord. We bar the 1st fret on the 2nd string and the 1st string, and we put our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, like that, okay? And we pick the same thing, just like that. Okay, so the next chord, that's what we do for the D minor 7. That's bar 5 on the transcription. The A minor 7, I play it here, like this. So I've got my 1st finger on the 7th fret, pinky on the 9th fret, 2nd finger on the 8th fret, 3rd finger on the 8th fret, okay, from the 4th string down. 7 on the 4, 9 on the 3rd, 8 on the 2nd, 8 on the 1st. Little bit of a tricky chord. You could always drop this note if you like, not use it, and just play very much the same way we play the D minor 7 right up the 8th fret that I mentioned. So you go. You could get away with that, especially if you've got a bass player, you're playing it in a band, or just playing along with the song. This is an easier option. You could go, or however you want to pick that. So what he's actually picking, what I got from it was that you're picking the 4th string, 3rd, up on the 1st and 2nd, up again on the 1st and 2nd, down on the 3rd string to finish it. The strumming stuff, I notice a lot of people ask questions about the strumming, and I might start making some tutorials just referring to strumming in general, because this stuff gets complicated. The strumming is one of the more complex things playing guitar. It can sometimes be harder than lead, as I'm sure some of you are experiencing. So, first 2 bars, or if you want to play it there, then, look, I'm going to play it the way I play it, so. I strummed it wrong. That's better. Okay, so down, down, up. So that's your first 2 bars. From here on, okay, so that was 5 and 6. In 7 and 8, you just pick the notes out like this. Pick the 5th string, pick the 4th and then the 3rd. So I'm picking down, down, up. Then I pick up on the 2nd, and then down on the 3rd. So we get I guess with this song, it's not at a speed where the strum pattern matters too much. If you can make it work, you can make it work, because I find myself wanting to do different things. I'm going down, 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 up, down. Okay, it works, as long as it works. And then we go to the A minor, and we do the same pattern, but obviously from the 4th string down. So down, 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 up, down, or down, down, up, down, whatever you're comfortable with. So that 4 bars ends up looking like this. So hopefully you can see how the second time it's more picked out like this. Okay, whereas the first time you would remember, little strum, up, down, more of a strum type thing. So it's actually pretty uniform throughout the song that the first 2 bars of each verse have this little strum, and the second 2 bars are kind of picked out like that. Obviously, if you make variations on that, you know, I believe his name's George, the guitar player. I don't think he's going to walk up to you or appear in your bedroom and say, you're not really doing that right. He might do that to me because I've transcribed it, and fair enough, George, if you're watching. But he's not going to, I don't think he's going to pop up maybe in your dreams and say you weren't picking that right. So you want to get close, but I wouldn't agonize over it being perfect. That continues on. That little passage happens, think of it as happening 3 times with the D minor and the A minor 7. So twice, 3rd time, and then we're up to, in bar 11, this lick. Okay, so every verse, that's how it goes. Think of it as working off the D minor and the A minor 7 3 times, and then you've got this lick. So this lick is 5 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I slid from the 5 into the 6th fret on the 2nd string. And then we go back to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. I use my 3rd finger, so then I can use my 2nd finger on the 5 on the 3rd string. We then go back to the 5 on the 2nd string, and then we play the 4 on the 1st string. Totally random. Totally random. It's, yeah, just one of the things that makes it a really genius piece of guitar work. I don't know where that 4 came from or why it's there, but it sounds bloody awesome. I hope I don't get an explicit warning for using bloody. So I'm going to play the whole verse with that lick in there. Alright, that happens twice. That whole passage I just played repeats, and we're up to our chorus. So this one will move a lot quicker than some of the other tutorials. For example, Lonesome Train. My goodness, that was a marathon. This one, neatly structured, plenty of repeats, a really nice piece of music. I really enjoy it. Maybe nice isn't the right word. They might find that offensive. So the chorus now comes back to a C chord. And by the way, what I'm hearing in my eyes, what I'm hearing in my eyes is that in this moment, if I was playing chords to that, and I'm assuming what the bass player is working around is an F chord. So it's like, if you don't play that lick, okay, just for a little bit of trivia. There's no reason you wouldn't play that lick. Coming into the chorus, okay, so we're up to the chorus now. We have this great little riff that goes. Okay, I think the guitar player is a little bit more. He's kind of really strumming through that. It's probably more. I've simplified it slightly on the transcription, but he's sort of going. No, it wasn't that complicated. I think he's kind of just strumming through it with a bit of accenting. What I've got in the transcription, I've just backed it off a touch to make it a little easier to teach, to be honest. Just simplify it slightly. And you'll find once you play it this way, you can probably embellish it a little. So what's happening, we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so the strumming here is really important. Imagine you're missing the first strum because I don't really hear the chord happening on that first beat. It's sort of coming into that on that first bar. So 1 and 2, 3. Okay, 1 up, down, down. Okay, in the next bar, in bar 22, we're going 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, those two bars put together, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, I'll play that again. Very important in that second bar, 1, 2, up, down, up, down, up. Alright, the next bar, we're going to this D minor with the pinky down there. So this is a 10th fret, 10th fret. Oh, I don't know if I explained that little C chord. My apologies. 9, 8, and 8. Hopefully you weren't scratching your head on that one too much. Okay, it's just 9, 8, and 8. Comes from a C chord there. If we take these bar chords and we chop off that lower part and use those top bits, we get some really cool sounding chords. Okay, so... This little D minor here. We strum down, up, down. So it's 10, 10, and 13. Down, up, down. And we do the same thing with the pinky on the 12 now. Down, up, down. And the last bar. Down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. If you want to play it probably a little bit more like the guitar player, a little bit more authentically, I think he's going... Kind of strums through a little bit more. So... But I've kind of just captured the accents and dropped a few little strums on the transcription. So go with the transcription and then see if you can build from that, or if you can just strum right through it. It'd just be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So, yeah. But it's the emphasis that he puts on certain notes that I'm trying to capture with the transcription, which is very challenging if you don't have that information, have this rhythm down that I've transcribed first, I think. So give that a go. That chorus repeats 4 times, doesn't change. So if you can play that part, repeat it 4 times, and we return to the verse, goes through the verse, goes through another chorus, okay? Everything's very much the same. Okay, which is great news. I like that in a song. I kind of like an organised song. I'm not the most organised person, but I do. If you listen to the Vaudevillains stuff, verses and choruses were generally quite uniform, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's a good thing. Not that there's anything wrong if it's not. So anyway, we do the third verse. Okay, so it's like each of the verses where it goes through the whole passage twice with the lick. And then we get to this solo section. So good news, if you're up to here, you're kind of already up to the solo. Yeah. But the way I actually play it, sorry for the ramble, 3rd finger on the 5th fret, 1st finger on the 3rd fret, and I'm playing just like that, okay? So my 3rd finger is on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the 5th fret there. Sorry, 1st finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the 5th fret. And I'm strumming down, up, and I put my pinky on the 6th fret. And I kind of pick the 5th string, then pick the 4th string. So I'm actually not so much strumming, but picking. I just realized even with the 3 and the 5. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I kind of am strumming. It's a little bit vague, to be honest, because like I said, it sounds like it's not necessarily strictly or it's a little combination of all the above. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the 3 options of how you could play that bar. You could pick the 5th string, pick the 4th string, put the 6 down, pick the 5th string, then pick the 4th string. Sorry, 4th string I meant, so. And then we could do this lick. 5th fret on the 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, and 5th fret on the 5th string. You could play that like that, or you could strum it and hit them both firmly, down and up. Now, this bit here What I've actually transcribed or written is where you hit the open 4th string, hold the 2nd fret there, and hit both of those. But again, in the recording, it sounds like they could be 2 separate guitars. I could be imagining things. I don't know, but I'm definitely suspicious that there's some clever stuff going on some of the songs on the album. I may be misapplying it, but... Okay, so you could do that instead of just playing that 5th fret there, and you kind of capture both things that I'm hearing. Okay, so that part of the solo. That happens 4 times, okay? Not the 2 of them 4 times. One of those passages happens 4 times. Then you finish with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that last chord you hit becomes like the stop chord for going into the next part. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All downstrokes is fine. Next part of the solo looks like this. And again, separate guitar going, this little D minor chord here. And by the way, it's been a while since I've mentioned a bar. This is bar 49 at this point. You don't have to play both guitars. If you wanted to, you'd go... Okay, you could completely ignore the chord because it is a separate guitar, and you would just play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you've got the transcription, I've put the stuff you don't necessarily have to play in brackets. So you can choose if you like. Without the chord, you're going 1, 7, 6, 8, 5. Okay, and they're the best fingers to use in my opinion for that. 3rd, 2nd, pinky 1st. 3rd time around, we go to the 5th fret. 2, 3, 4. If you want the chords, you strum in the previous bar at the end of the previous bar, so you'll be going... Okay, you'll get in there a little early, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and... Okay, and on the and, you'll play the 5, 5, and 5 there, which is an A minor chord. This is a D minor chord, that's an A minor chord. You'll strum that, and then you'll just pick the 2nd string. Okay? Just like that. So that's if you're doing it with the chord. So it'll sound like this. And then you have to finish that bar by starting it again. Okay, and that concludes that part. If you don't want to use the chord, just play the 5 and don't play that little D minor chord. Okay, so it'll be 1. Okay, as I did actually mention that before, didn't I? Going around in circles. Next part of the solo. Okay, again, you've got a situation where there is a 2nd guitar playing this chord. Excuse me. You're strumming that little chord there. I don't know that I would play that in there. It's a little awkward. So, up to you, but if you do want to, it's 7, 7, 7 on the 4th, 7 on the 3rd, and 5th fret on the 2nd, using 3rd, 4th, and 1st. You strum it, and then we go to the 5, the 7, the 8, 5, 5, 7, 7, 8. Then repeat again. One more time. So without the chord, you'd just play this one. Which I'd advise. I mean, you don't have to make life hard. You could play along with this song, have a great time, and not feel the need to play that extra chord. At this point, 3 times, okay. We jump from here quite quickly to the this C chord, okay? So think of a D chord up here. Here's an octave up of the same chord. Bring it down, that's going to be a D chord, C chord. Oh my god, all that just to say it wrong. C chord, okay? D chord, drop it down a tone to C chord. And we do this. Alright, so that happens at the end of bar 62, coming into bar 63 on your transcription. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. That's what's happening there. I'll do it really slow. So we've come off this. So I'll go from bar 61, 1, 62, and on the 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that pattern's very important. You do sort of have to go down, up, down, and then start on and up on the next bar. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So from the 4, 1, 2, 3, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down. That's the correct way to play it. That's exactly what I would be playing if I had nailed it in the cover. I'm not sure I even 100% nailed that when I covered it. But you will. You'll probably spend more time practicing it than I will. I only transcribed this song, I think, last Wednesday night. So, still a little rusty, but that's okay. I know what I put down in the transcription is correct, and you will get the correct information, or at least as correct as I can get it. After that, guys, this is the cool part. You've already learnt the whole song now. So it goes to the verse, okay, which uses the same chords. Everything that you've already learnt. It does a full verse, which has a repeat of what you play in there. Does that twice, and then it goes back to what we did in the solo passage. Solo might not be the right word. It's almost like just another section of the song. It's just such a cool little piece of music. Back to this. So it does that 4 times, just like in the solo. We stop again on this, and we are back to the intro. So I actually get caught short when I cover it. It just keeps repeating that intro like you learnt before, but it goes really quickly from the straight into the 3, 2, 3, just like the intro. It comes in a little earlier than in the actual intro, so you've got to watch that. But otherwise, it's exactly the same as the intro with a few more repeats. And you finish with this D minor chord, and then you add the D minor, the 12th fret there for a D minor 9. And that's the whole song. So, guys, if you really enjoy that, a few other songs that come to mind that I've already transcribed, like Crewman. There's a Crewman song. It's Guy Fawkes. Batmobile, Mad at You. Is good. I can't remember. I think that was fairly clean as well. But even stylistically kind of reminds me of this. Yeah, but obviously there's relations with all of the psychobilly stuff that you'll find between this and those songs. Kudos to Radarmen, fantastic band, really big fan of them, and I will definitely do another one of their tunes. But up next there'll be a lesson on Reverend Horton Heat, Jim Heath, and Brian Setz's swing kind of style stuff, that sort of thing. sort of... that kind of, yeah, I even threw a lick in there and a whole bunch of stuff. So that's something I've been working on, and that will be out very shortly. That's going to be a really cool video. I think a lot of you will dig that. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out the Patreon. Check out the other videos. I'll see you next time.